Okay, you guys, today we are going to be learning and talking about line plots. You're going to need page 7 from your math alignment binder, and you're going to need your math notebook. Remember, if you need to pause this video or rewind, you can always do that. Your notebook should look just like my notebook when it's done. Your volume should be on, and you should be following along and using these as a guide. This is not just an assignment, this is also a tool to help you be more successful. So let's go ahead and get started. So I am going to title it Reptile Links. I got that from right here. The reason I have my notebook turned to the side is so it will help me with my X's. So you should probably do that too. Also, Galapagos tortoise, it said 5 feet, but I'm changed it to 6 feet for this activity. Normally we can't change data, but for this activity I am, so hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense to you later on. Because if I don't change it, it might cause a little bit of confusion. So I'm going to draw a straight line. If you need a ruler, you can do that too. And I'm going to look for my smallest length and my largest length, because that's what my numbers need to represent. I'm not going to count all the way up to 100 if I don't need to, because then all my data might be squished in one little area. So I see my smallest amount is 3. And my largest amount is 15. So what I'm going to do, I know that 3 times 5 is 15. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 also goes into 6 2 times. So I'm going to count by 3s. So I'm going to put 0, then I'm going to put 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then I'll put 18. I am skipping 2 lines in between just so I have a little bit more space and can see. Now, I need to know what these numbers represent. So, I am going to title it Links. And then I'm going to put in parentheses FT. That stands for feet, okay? And we know it's the lengths of the reptiles. Now, what I'm going to do is every time I see the number, I'm going to put an X there. So I'm going to put X equals 1 reptile. So now I'm just going to plug in my data into my line plot. I see that a saltwater crocodile is 15. So I'm going to put 1x above 15 because that tells me 1x equals 1 reptile, and that x represents the saltwater crocodile. Now the leatherback sea turtle is 6 feet. So I'm going to put 1x above 6. The next one is, I don't even know how to say that. We can try to pronounce that correctly in class. Crocodile, 15. So I'm going to put another X above 15. So as of now, this tells me I have 3 animals or 3 reptiles on my chart. I can't tell which reptile it is specifically, but I can tell that I have 3 reptiles on here. The next measurement of caiman, I've never even heard of that before. Maybe I have. And it says 12 feet. So I'm going to put an X above 12. Loggerhead sea turtle is 3 feet. So I'm going to put an X above my 3. The Nile crocodile is 15. So I'm going to put an X above my 15. Now this did say 5, the Galapagos tortoise, but I changed it to 6. The reason why is because here our data is pretty easy, but if we just put a random X here, we need to put a 5 there to let us know it represented that. But for the purpose of that, we don't want to make this line plot any more challenging, and we're just trying to learn. So I'll make sure the line plots you create are not super challenging as well. So Galapagos, I'm going to put another X. And the last one, the green sea turtle, is 3 feet. So I'm going to put an X above 3 feet. So I should have, let's see, I'm going to count how many reptiles I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I should have 8 X's on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means I have shown all of my animals on here. So this right here would be giving us numerical data versus categorical data. The reason why is because our answers would be numbers. I cannot tell you, I'm not going to say what kind of animal is this. Like that's a reptile. That doesn't matter. That doesn't relate to this. So I couldn't say what was the favorite reptile, because we can't tell what the favorite reptile is. Then that would be a category. I can ask what is the longest reptile on this chart, and that would be 15. And because 15 is a number, that would make it numerical. Okay, so you won't be required to create a lot of line plots, but you will be expected to read them and be able to analyze them. So let's talk about some different questions here. If it said, what is the difference between the largest reptile and the smallest reptile on this chart, I would do 15 minus 3, because that's what's on my data. I would not do 18 minus 0 because I don't have any animals that are representing 18 feet or 0 feet. Okay, so we have 8 animals or 8 reptiles on here. If I said how many reptiles are longer than 12 feet, we could count all the numbers 12 and above. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that would be 4 reptiles are larger than 12 or 12 feet or larger. If I said how many reptiles were 4 feet and under, well, 4's not on my chart, but 4 would be right here, so I would say 2. If we wanted to add all the reptiles together, so normally we don't put math right here because this would be our chart, but for note purposes, let's see, how long are all reptiles together? Okay, so what I would do is I would have to add them up. I would do 3 plus 3. I would do 6 plus 6. I put 2 6s because there are 2 x's. I don't have an x above my 9, so I'm not going to put a number. I'm going to put 12. And you can see I'm making sure I'm lining up my ones. Then I'm going to put 15 3 times, because 15 is on here 3 times. Because I have 8 x's, I should have 8 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I would need to add them up. So I'm going to do a little side strategy. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. I'm just going to add the other 12 over here. I know that 15 plus 15 is 30. That's just years of practice, plus 15 again. So all I'm doing is combining the math facts that I know pretty well. Now I'm going to add my ones. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 2 again is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. So I'm going to put a 5 here and carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So if I added, or if I lined up all these reptiles, crocodile all the way to this green sea turtle, lined them up from head to tail, it would equal 75 feet, okay? What I want you to do now is I would like you to do page 23. I would like for you to try to complete this, not in front of a computer. You can use your math notes as a guide to help you. Answer them on paper. Then when you're done with that, you can enter your answers into the Google form. It will look just like this, and tomorrow we will work more on line plots and reading charts and data. Please, please, please let me know if you have any questions.